Hey YouTube, it's Monday here in Virginia. Just basically started my season today for the most part. Like I said, I cut a few handful of yards last week, a couple of better yards that have a little nicer grass. Around here we tend to have a lot of yards with weeds and not a lot of people that want to put money into their yards. Kind of the downfall of being in my area, where we're, mostly rural. The city tends to get crowded, especially downtown. I mean, like Lynchburg City itself, which is the nearest city to where I live, tends to be not very big yards, small yards, and I'm not set up to handle small stuff. I'm getting ready to acquire a push mower just because I had to turn down a couple yards last year because I simply couldn't get into a back gate, and we don't have a lot of yards with gates, so I haven't had to set myself up with smaller mowers and stuff of that nature. But something I want to talk about today is the importance of relationships. And I mean, I'm not talking about a marital relationship here. I'm talking about relationships with your vendors, your dealers, landscape supply companies, stuff like that. And I'm probably not speaking on nothing that most people don't already know. But having worked for a beer distributor for a long time and being a sales rep for them, relationships are very important and go a long way, and get you a lot of stuff. I mean, and what I was doing, I kind of had a product that sold itself, so I really didn't have to do much, but just start and build and keep that relationship. Trying to make a U-turn here, go back to the bank. I thought the banks were closed today, being Easter Monday, but apparently they're not. So I've got a landscape supply company near me that, and it's not, the landscape supply company. The place is called Yard 29, and he's a new guy. He's a small business guy like myself. Like, he literally took a lot on the side of Route 29 down here and, started selling stone and mulch and a few plants. He ain't got a massive selection of plants. He's selling fertilizers and some hand tools. I mean, he's becoming a landscape supply store. And I ended up going to him last year and buying some mulch from him, and I didn't need but one scoop. I mean, it was a tiny job, and I didn't need but one scoop, and I think I was buying some other stuff at the same time as well. It was less than $100 of materials, and he give me that scoop of mulch. Now, it won't but $16 or something was the price. I think his prices are cheap, me personally. But he give me the scoop of mulch, and he said, just do more business with me. So because of that, I have continued to do more business with him. And I ended up going back and buying, 5 or 6 yards of river rock from him. I've now started purchasing my seed there. I will eventually start purchasing a majority of my fertilizers there as well. One particular job, I had to go to the landscape supply in a bigger city about 45 minutes away because they sold a product that I needed for a yard that didn't nobody around here carry. So I've kind of kept up with him and stayed in contact with him in the off season. And I didn't know that he had adjusted his prices on mulch. So I priced a job out that a cleanup job I'm going to do here tomorrow. and I'm putting some mulch down, and I had priced it off of last year's price at $15 for my price. Well, he went up to $18 this year. His guy went up, trucking costs went up, so of course he had to go up, and I get that. But I had my markup on my mulch, covered my delivery costs, covered my gas in the dump bed truck, and with the price going up, that it cut my markup down to hardly nothing. I was making like $1 and some change per yard versus $5 and some change per yard. Now I don't factor in my labor with the price of my mulch. I factor in my labor separate. So I take the cost of the mulch, put a percentage on it, mark it up, and that covers delivery, fuel, stuff like that. Then my labor is charged separately to install it. So, and I had mentioned it to him. I was like, well, shoot, I'm not gonna do as good on this job as I thought I was. And he said, well, I'll try to make it up to you where I can. So I go today, and I told him I'd be back today, a little over a week and a half ago, to get 14 yards of mulch. And I go down there today to get the mulch. He comes out the building, meets me, shakes my hand. Hey Cody, how you doing? Chit chat a little bit. And the guy ran his yards, load me up, go back in to pay for it. And when I get the receipt, he had charged me $17.16, I think, after tax for mulch. So he had lowered his price, and it cut into his profit to make up what I was losing on my end. And to me, building that relationship, now although I'm not his biggest customer, and it'll probably be a while before I am his biggest customer, but just because I have chose to keep my business there, it has already paid off, and it will continue to pay off. And I'm not saying this because you're gonna get materials cheaper, but in a case like this where he didn't do the best job communicating to all of us over the winter time that he had raised his price. See, he had stuck a piece of paper on his door. Well, I had, in the dead of winter when it's snow on the ground, I had no need to go into his landscape supply store. I wasn't busy like that this winter. So I didn't know about the price increase. But the fact that he made it up to me and he's willing to do that says a lot about him and what he's trying to achieve. And the fact that I keep coming back to him versus going somewhere else just chasing a price, I feel like says a lot about me. I'm trying to create a great relationship with my dealer, my mower dealer. I bought a Kubota, and at the time of me buying my Kubota, that was strictly they were geared more towards the farmers. It was actually called Farm Service, was the name of the place. They had a ton of tractors, not a lot of lawnmowers. And prior to this year, I didn't know that Kubota sold a walk behind. I really didn't. So this guy Farm Service gets bought out by a guy that owns a towing company around here. And he wants to go after not only farmers and homeowners that need tractors, but he's going after us guys. And he's now offering a lot more lawn equipment than he ever did before, I mean, he now has a much bigger selection of mowers. He's got walk behinds. Kubota just come out with a push mower. They're a little pricey, and I have no need for a $1,000 push mower right now. But he's offering that, and in changing his business model, he's now selling Echo power tools. And when I first started, I bought Echo, but I don't like the guy. The only Echo dealer around here I didn't like. I didn't like the guy, simply because He's the biggest Exmark dealer, and I have nothing against Exmark, not a thing against Exmark mowers. But because he's the only Exmark dealer, I had actually went in one time shopping for Gravely, and he's a Gravely dealer as well. And he had the mower that I was looking at on his display floor, and I walked over there, we talked about it for a minute, and then he said, well, let me show you this Exmark. Well, I didn't come into your place looking for Exmarks. I come into this place looking for Gravely. Kind of rubbed off on me the wrong way. And for that reason, I didn't buy anything else Echo from him. And I actually I was getting ready to make the shift to Stihl. I bought a Stihl FS111 back last year, about midway through the season, and I really like it. I really like that weed eater. I like the 4-stroke, I like the power, I like the weight of it. I like how easy it starts. But because my Kubota dealer is now selling Echo products, and they're so easy to work with there. Me personally, I want to keep my business there. And if it means switching from, if it meant me going from making the shift to Stihl products, meaning going back to Echo products, because they're all quality tools. You can sit and argue all you want, they're still quality tools. But in an effort to keep a relationship there with them people, I'm gonna make the switch back to Echo. And I'm going, they're having a 20% off sale in 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, and I'm going up there and buying some equipment, some stuff that I need. And I don't know, I may look at things a lot differently. I mean, I may look at it a lot differently. You might want to hunt around for a cheaper price, and this guy may not always be the best suit for me if I've got a job that's 30 miles away from his location. It would make sense to go with a different supply store for mulch or whatever if it's closer. So I don't know, I think relationships are important. I think relationships are very important. It's good to connect and be on the same wavelength with other small business owners. This guy don't offer everything that I like. He don't offer everything that I would use, but I'm gonna, like Roundup. He don't sell any version of Roundup, but I'm gonna try the product that he has and see how it goes. That is equivalent to Roundup. So I don't know. If you think I'm right, let me know. If you disagree, let me know as well. I'll be more than happy to debate it with you, but I don't think I'm very off in the way people think. So anyway, guys, it's beautiful here today in Virginia. I hope it's beautiful where you are, wherever you're watching from. And if you're gearing up to go mow grass, good luck this season and have fun. Thanks.